check out where I am today down at East Coast Park. How beautiful. It's a stunning morning, and I'm glad I made the effort to come up just to have a look. So I thought, given the morning we have, just to start with a little bit of breath. So come and have a seat, whatever's comfortable, cross-legged. If you need a cushion, sit on a cushion. Rest your hands on your knees and just close your eyes and breathe. Deep breath in and out. If you're more into meditation and yoga, please place your thumb and forefinger together. And just bring yourself into a quiet moment. Feel the earth beneath you. For me, it was the air around me and the sound of the water against the sand. Taking a deep breath in, arms come up and overhead, palms together, and down through the center. Just bring that energy in towards you today. Inhale up, exhale down, and on the next one, as your arms come down, we're just going to twist. So twist one way, hold the opposite knee, use your hand behind you to lift, allow the shoulders to melt down. Coming round and the other way, so there's a little bit of leverage coming through your arms. Eyes could go down, eyes could go up. And then we take a side bend, so hand on the ground, lean over. I decided today to just drop my head. It was just what my body felt like it wanted to do. If you wanted to look up, that's absolutely fine. You're just getting some mobility into your back, enjoying some freedom. And then we start to do just a little bit of footwork. Now you might see me every now and again scratching myself. It's because I got a few bites as I was doing this. So here's your feet. If you're not sitting at the beach, then you can use a towel. A piece of paper works as well, so we just scrunch our toes. I kind of made circles, went around. I got great exfoliation for my feet, as well as toe and arch work. And feet are often ignored, so you want to kind of play around with them. Then I started to pick the sand up and drop it. Again, if you've got a towel, you can pick the towel up. You can try picking a pencil up. Marbles is quite interesting. The sand was pretty there's my mosquito, got it. Sand was quite good to grab and release. So just a little bit of mobility for the feet, because they are at ground contact with the ground as the floor as we're walking. Coming into a half roll down, so turn and sit again. As lengthened as your spine can, hold the backs of your knees, bring yourself up with that lift through your core. And you start to roll down. It's your pelvis that does the curl, and you'll see me do a number of different things wrong. So we're looking for keeping the head balanced up on top, not pushing forward, which actually will take the work out of your abdominals. It's gravity pushing me down. Scoop the belly in, whoa, not leaning back. So we're trying to roll through the lower back, which is the pelvis curling. Only go as far as your feet stay flat. Tendency is to go really into the upper back rounding, your typical desk posture. Normally we have tightness in the lower back, so we're looking to release that, basically. Hands can continue to hold, which gives you a little bit of assistance, or they could come up into a sort of Cossack. And then we're going to start to add rotation. Now, scoop it in, hold if need be, and rotate. Now, key here is keep your butt solid. So you want to keep your hips as still as possible. If you think of the other videos we've done, we're trying to rotate through bra strap area, mid-spine, not the lower back, which is not really designed to do this rotation, but the upper back is, and it's lost in us. Eyes could stay straight forward or turn with the back arm. Again, options to get more neck rotation going on. And then you get jiggy with it. You can roll up, roll down, keep the core pulling in. I played funkiness with my hands there. Check me out. I can't help, I love that backdrop. How beautiful is East Coast Park this morning? So you're jigging, you're just moving around, shoulders get some mobility in there too. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. We scratched. I got about 5 bites, just so you know, doing this. Worth every single one. So here, we're going to dip our legs to one side. Arms, I've put them to my side so you can see the rotation. Aim, keep the shoulders and chest and ribs heavy, knees together, and it's your pelvis that rotates. So in the last move, what we were doing was turning our upper body. Now we're keeping the upper body more still and turning the lower body, and believe it or not, it's still the rotation from a similar place in your back. Now you don't need to turn around. I did because I wasn't sure if you'd see my feet. Your feet, if the legs up is a bit too much, just keep your feet tapping on the ground. Now I kept lifting my head because I wanted to make sure that I was in camera shot, and I am, but I couldn't see as I was crawling it. So the hips rotate, the chest stays center. One hip goes up. Now option, legs can go straight up in the air. Please do keep your head down, ignore that mine's up. It is another option, but I would say for now, just keep yours down. Legs, you see there I dipped mine away. It's like a wall is behind you and you're just tipping across and not falling over. Middle ground here is we can tip across with knees bent and straighten one leg. And both knees bend to go the other way, straighten one leg. And that can be built up into straightening one leg, then the other leg, bending them both and bring them back in. So we made the lever longer, which quite simply makes it harder on us. Again, my head should not be up as much as it is. It's a different move, not my intention for the day. Now we take those legs to one side, the pelvis turns, chest to the square, and it's a little sort of side sit up here. Just let your legs go to the side to where it feels easy is really the word I want. You don't want to force your hips into that twist. You could put a pillow underneath your knees to give them something to rest onto, absolutely fine. But you're getting a kind of rotation and a side crunch at the same time. If you have any back issues, please don't do this move or go see someone who can help you out. It's quite a lot of load coming through the back. Keep it small, or please, if you're not sure, avoid doing this one. I just know that my body is capable of, and some of you out there will be, but listen to yourself. That's the biggest. If you feel anything not quite right, don't do it. Now we're going to add a curl and a diagonal reach across. So we go right hand to left knee. We can add the leg coming up and reach across. Yep, see, shin parallel to the floor there. That puts the hip joint in a good place and the knee at 90 degrees. And your skeleton and muscular work kind of get the right thing. That way we're lifting through the hip and not through the foot. Full crisscross is here. I did a bit of a twisting thing today. So I'm turning my armpit towards the knee that's coming in. Not too many of them because they're actually quite strong. Turning over, coming onto the belly. So we always want to balance our workout between flexion and extension. Sand on my hands, a better place to wipe it than on my bum. So hands can be forward, out wider, underneath your shoulders. We start to lift up again. Shoulders come down, melt away from your ears, and we lower onto the ground. Now my legs are wide today. It's just how they felt they wanted to be. Head does a little lift, chest comes up. Notice where you're squeezing your bum. Yes, it might squeeze, but you don't need to clench it. All right, you can see what happens when you clench it. Give it a pat and you'll notice if you're what called a butt gripper. So we lift up, you're lengthening, you're pulling yourself forward. My feet keep lifting because I'm getting bitten. Okay, I'm hoping you don't. Too much head lift, again, we've got to watch where that goes. Chest is the thing that's pulling forward and the shoulders melt down just that wee bit. Now we can come up higher here as long as you feel your back can do it with length is the best way I can say that. So it's peeling your body off, not just lifting through your arms, lengthening, a little bit of a belly stretch. I could do with a bit more extension. I know my body's. I'm also trying to read my notes to what I decided to do next, which was to twist. So I'm going to look over my shoulder, and again, this is a little bit random. When I'm looking this way towards the camera, I'm going to keep my left hip down and my shoulders away from my ears just a wee bit. Now I'm going to start to roll my shoulders because I felt like going into a bit of an animal move. So yes, my arms are working. It's a bit of a push-up. I'm rolling around, but again, notice the movement you get through your spine. Shoulders slide around the ribs, and it just feels very, very freeing. And that's a lot of the time what we want to do is just unlock the body. Now this is cool. I did a sort of dolphin, so I came up and then watch. What am I going to do? Oh, that's too much head lift. Okay, careful out there doing that. Dive down. See how I lift away from the floor? Nose kind of makes a tunnel on the sand. I lift up and then dive down. Now that's a little bit more coordinated. So if that's not in your coordination today, just keep doing the lift. Hands and knees comes next, please. Scratching as I do this recording. That little mozzie that got my leg was a pretty good one. So here, I'm going to start to do a cat stretch. And as ever, lift belly into the body. Cat stretch, knees hover, push back onto your haunches, come forward to plank, find your long line. Awesome for me to see myself, it really is. Ideally, once I've seen, I want to get my head back in line. Now I'm going to start to move the legs around the body. So this is just, think animalistic and springing forward, dropping down. Now, what you'll notice is my lower back is tending to round. That is part of my spine makeup. Doesn't mean you have to copy that. Your back might look very different. What we're aiming is that our ribs don't really collapse. Option is here, look, knees down if it's a lot of weight in your arms or too much load on your body, okay, depending on what time you're doing it and your own strength. The leg can go to the side, it can come diagonally under with a nice twist, it could go the other way, it could go through the middle. There's lots of options there. You're really trying to go, just flow with it. Just go, this is what my body feels like doing right now in this moment. So that's freeing for the hip, more for the spine and the shoulders. It's a beautiful move. Cat stretch, so round the back off, drop the head, look to the belly, curl the tail, stick your ass in the air, look up that little bit, and the shoulders again melting down. So you've got the round back to the flat back. Check me out, tuck the tails under, float your knees up. Now you do the same thing, cat stretch with the knees hovering off the floor. So this is called the floating cat. Much more work into your quads. But what you'll feel is you can get a little bit more rotation around your hips. And we're going to keep the hips relatively still and not twisting until we get into the funky cat, which comes as soon as we place the knees down. This is just rock and rolling. So you move it around one way, then the other, swing to weight to one leg, then the other. Again, totally freeing. A little bit inhibited sometimes when we do this one. And obviously I'm in the middle of the park. So if I can do it there, please do. I step back so I can do my roll up. Love this silhouette it makes, really do. Okay, big roll up, wipe the sand off. Look how that back unravels to come up. Arms, breathe in, come up and over your head. I'm gonna keep my arms close to my ears on my roll down and then start to let them fall. I take a small breath in, breathe into my back and then exhale down. Breathe into my back, exhale lower. And same thing on the way back. In this position, great place to open up the back body. So it's an inhale, then exhale kind of lifts you up like there's an air bubble underneath your body. Once you're fully standing, if you're at the beach, feel free to run down the sand, wipe your hands on your bum, have a little paddle. Oh, it was such a beautiful morning, it really was. I'm gonna post some pictures with this blog. Splash in the sand, come running back up. Now do the Bo Derek, if you know that, out of the water. Check that out. Don't worry, I didn't forget to do the little dance. Here she comes. And just one moment, I wanted to show you what the view was that I got. Because as that sun came up, it was just such a beautiful morning. So I hope yours is whenever you see this. Bye.